Hey, welcome back, guys. The First Down Podcast. Doing this a little bit differently. I'm gonna post a link to my YouTube channel. I'm no longer able to upload such large audio files, so we're gonna do it a little differently. But we're still gonna have the podcast. I'm gonna keep doing it. We're gonna talk about a lot of good stuff today, guys. I got a lot of news, a lot of information. We're gonna wrap up last season, the off season, into the new season. We're going to talk about some new users. We're going to talk about a rule change. We're going to talk about some game of the weeks, some standings. We're going to check in on all the playoff teams from last year, break down the AFC and NFC teams that made the playoffs, see how they started out this year. All kinds of good stuff, guys. So let's get right into it. Let's start with last year. It went great. The playoffs went great. They went smooth, no issues. We had a Cards Colts Super Bowl, which, as you all know, the Cards won fourth consecutive Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm tired of saying it. But yeah, the Cards. He's the man. He's doing great, and he can't be beat. So hey, what else can we say? We went after that. We went right into the off season. We had a nice end of the week off season, and we went right into a draft on the weekend, just perfect, just how we like it. I like to do the drafts on the weekend so we can get as many users as possible. Not everybody's available on the weekend. I understand that. Some people have jobs on the weekend. But, the weekend we can get as many people actively involved in the draft as possible. And I think we had a great draft. There was awesome players in that draft class. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the draft a lot. I didn't even have a first round pick. So I know the Colts and the Patriots had a great time. They got some really good players. I think the Colts had frickin' 3 first-round picks. Hey, wheeling and dealing, man. Wheeling and dealing. That's how you got to do it. He's built one of the best teams in the league, at least overall standings, and he's coming off being the AFC champion. So I'm probably looking for him to have another really good year, adding to the talent on his team. So we did a lot of other cool things in the offseason. We had a lot of new users. We we are up to 30 out of 32 players with users, which is great. That's a number I shoot for. I mean, 32 is a dream, but it's tough to keep 32, especially in a league like ours. It's it's nice not having a lot of rules, but it's also hard on some people. I mean, you got to be really honest. We had a guy quit yesterday because he felt like people were being too, air quotes, cheesy. I understand that, and I hate it too when people do things that I don't like. But I can tell you right now that when you play against people like that, you learn from it, and it, this isn't a league for the lower skilled players. I'm hoping that most of the people are average, and what you can do is become better. But being said, when you don't have a lot of rules, a lot of people quit because they get upset, they get frustrated. Those rules protect players that are less seasoned. I'm not going to say they're bad, but they just don't. If a guy runs the ball a million times, you gotta understand the plays that you have to run to stop certain runs. Like if you got a guy running a stretch all the time, there's plays that can stop stretch. I mean, you're not going to kill it, but you're going to frustrate him and you're going to force him to pass the ball. I mean, it is what it is. You have to be, and I'm hoping that those of you that are struggling stopping stuff learn. I mean, learn how to stop it. There's plays to do that. I mean, I don't want to tell anybody to go to YouTube, but if you're really struggling with something, look something up, figure it out. All right, but yeah, so 30 out of 32 users. We between the playoffs last year and now, we got 8 new users that are currently still with us. So we got a new Bears user, a new Cowboys, Jags, Vikings, Packers, Eagles, Raiders, Giants. I'm sure out of those 8 guys, maybe half of them will become, a good part of our league and stick with us. Maybe more. Who knows? The more the merrier. But we have a great core, and we'll continue to add to that core. The bummer is that with this time of the year in the season, this time of the year, summer, people are becoming less interested in football and more interested in being outside and doing things. So it's tough to keep the league running. But my plan is to keep it running at least 2 more seasons, and then reboot into Madden 21. They did drop some official dates for the release of Madden 21. I'll probably post that here soon. I think it was, I want to say the official final release date was August 26th. If you have EA access, you could get it a little bit earlier. And then if you bought the special waste of money version of Madden, you could get it even earlier. But we'll start it on the day that the actual, when everybody is available to get Madden, is the day that the league will actually start. I won't start it earlier. Not everybody's going to have it. One thing I want to mention, guys, is that if you're really done with Madden, but you've been with us for a long time, now this doesn't go out to any new users. I'm not extending this to any new users. But if you have been a guy, this league's been around for 6 seasons. If you've been a guy that's been with us and you're just burnt out on Madden and you need a break, the Ravens did it last year, at the end of last season. Stay in the Discord, mute all the chats, and be ready for Madden 21. If you just want to wait until the new season, I'm fine with that. I mean, yeah, we want more. We want to keep you playing. We want to keep more active users, and if you're one of those people, you're probably an active user. But I'd rather have you. I'd rather have you ready for next year than have you just leave the league and lose communication with you. So, yeah, so let's move on. We had a rule change, one minor rule change. I've heard several comments last year and in the years past that 8 minutes is a little bit long. I personally like 8 minutes. I mean, I like the stats. I like the feel of it. I think you can come back in a game. But it is a little bit long for somebody, so we notched it down to 7. Okay, so that's just a minor rule change. Quarters are now on 7 minutes, and that's where it will stay officially. We voted on it last year, and I think it was 10 to 4, to 5. 10 people wanted to change it to 7, so that's what we're going to do. Now, just so everybody's clear, so we're not all crazy, because this happened before. The votes are not the deciding factor. At the end of the day, me and the commissioners make the decisions. But we do heavily weigh the votes. And like I said, I wanted 8 minutes, but we had 10 people vote for 7, and it not that big of a deal, so we switched it to 7. So let's check in. So now we're going to go into a little bit of more of a standings thing. I'm not going to talk too much, but I am going to talk about the playoff teams from last year. Let's talk about the 6 AFC playoff teams. We had the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Colts, the Jets, the Ravens, and who was the other one? The Chiefs. Did I say the Chiefs? I did. So the Chiefs are 1-1. Me and him had a freaking great game the other day. It was intense. It was one of those ones that make sure your juices flow, blood pump. It was 34-31 in overtime. I won. It was anybody's game. I think I had a better first half, and I could not get away, and he actually had a better second half, and it kind of just evened out, and then we went to overtime, and it was a great game. So he's 1-1. I'm 2-0. The Colts is 2-0, the AFC reigning champion. The Jets is 2-0, and the Ravens, new user, I think he's 1-0. I don't think he's played week 2 yet. So it looks like all of last year's playoff teams are off to a good start, and but we're looking for some new ones. So there definitely is other people that are. Oh, the Bills. I'm so sorry, Mr. Bills. Forgot about the Bills. He's 2-0 as well, and he's started. So literally everybody in the AFC that made the playoffs last year is off to a similar goal. And then the NFC, we got the Cards, Super Bowl winner. The 49ers also made the playoffs from that division. He's 2-0. Cards are 2-0. Cowboys are 2-0. They made the playoffs, Super Bowl. New user though for that team, so that's interesting. But still trying to repeat playoff appearance. And then the Bucks. We had a little hiccup with the Bucks last year. He ended up leaving the league, but we replaced him. That team's phenomenal. Maybe too good, questionably. But who else made the playoffs? Lions, NFC North Division winner. He's kind of struggling. I actually saw the power rankings all the way down. I know I only post 1 through 10, but I mean there's the link on the power rankings channel. But he's 0-2. He's 31 out of 32 in the power rankings. But we know that won't last. He'll be back. He struggled against the Packers, but Packers is a new user. And I'm sure he's got a feel for how he plays, and he'll have a better game plan, and that'll probably be a much better game round 2. The Bears, we got a new user on the Bears team. He started out, I think he's 1-1. So that's another playoff team from last year. They had 2 first-round picks. I think he did some good stuff with those picks, and I'm sure he's making that team. I just seen he just had a trade as well with the Seahawks. So he's making that team better, and he's probably shooting for the playoffs. Why not? All right, so let's see what else we got to talk about here today. I was going to talk about games of the week. Yeah, that's right. I had this all wrote down, though. I left my notepad somewhere, so I'm a little bit off. So you got to forgive me. The games of the week for week 2. We'll just talk about those just real quick. Like I said, the Chiefs and Steelers. I already hit on that. I ended up winning by a field goal in overtime. Great game. Then we had the Packers and the Vikings. I think that was another pretty good game. The Packers came out on top. Everybody's bets have been confirmed, rewarded. We're past week 2. Everybody can now bet on week 3. We got two games of the week for week 3. 2 divisional rivalries. The Giants and Cowboys are playing for the second time in 3 weeks. They had a great game week 1, so I chose this as a game of the week. The Cowboys won by 3 points. So I mean, in my mind, that's anybody's game. The Giants have a really good defense. I think it's an 89 overall defense. Cowboys have a really good overall team. Obviously, 2 pretty good users, or well-matched users. So that'll be interesting. And then we got another division rivalry, AFC East game, and it's the Jets and the Patriots, who have gone back and forth and had some pretty good. They've both been with us quite a while, and they've had some good runs since we've started this season. They've been in the same, since we've started this particular league, and they've been in the same division. The Patriots had a kind of a slumpy year last year, but he had a really good draft, and I know he's always trying to get better and learning from his losses, and I have a feeling it's going to be a good game. It's anybody's game. So yeah, so that's about it, guys. I did want to talk about some other stuff. I had some other stuff wrote down. I'm trying to think of what else it was. But I am really happy with this league. And I posted in the announcements my plan for the league. As I mentioned earlier briefly, we're going to try to go 2 more seasons. Wrap up somewhere, hopefully a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it ends up being. I kind of ran the numbers a little bit, and it looked like we were gonna end up finishing not this season, but it would actually be the next, around the first week of August. So hopefully we'll get a couple weeks off and just breathe, and then the new Madden will come out. I have EA access, so I'll use my 10 hours and try to get a feel for the game. And then, was it like the 3rd or 4th week of August when Madden officially releases to everybody? We're gonna do, like I said in the announcement, I'm gonna take everybody that's active in the league still, everybody that wants to stay in Madden 21 and is still with us. I'm gonna do a random generator. We're one through whatever the hell there is. If there's 25 people left, 26 people, 1 through 26, you're gonna get a number. We're gonna draft teams. We're gonna start with regular rosters, no fantasy draft. I love the fantasy draft, but the fantasy draft we did recently was mostly because the teams just. To me, you use those teams so much, it just becomes dull. I felt like the fantasy draft was mix it up. So we're going to go back to regular rosters, 1 through 26. And we're going to draft in the Discord. I'll tell you what number you get, and we're going to go through the list and pick teams. There's not going to be any commissioner picks first. This guy picks first. It'll be loyal guys get a number, and there's 20 of us left. There's 15 of us left. We'll all get a random number. We'll draft the teams. The remaining teams I'll fill, just like I fill all the teams throughout the year with Facebook and Xbox groups. We will, fill the remaining teams. But so if you're here, you'll get a better, probably a better shot at a better team. But the selection will be random. So that's how we're going to start, and then hopefully that'll start in the end of August. But we got a lot of awesome Madden to play in between now and then. We're going to have 2 more Super Bowl champs. I'm excited. My team is where it needs to be. I just need to, keep my game solid. Sometimes I get a little pass happy. And I need to continue to improve on my game, just like everybody does. So, all right, guys, I'm going to do another podcast probably around mid-season. And then we'll talk more about standings and, playoff aspirations, and maybe there'll be some trades, around the deadline, and we'll talk more about that stuff then. But hey, guys, I'm glad everyone's in the league. I appreciate each and every one of you. I know sometimes I can seem like I'm a little strict at times. I know we had some weird stuff going yesterday. I try to protect this league with everything I have, and it's important to me, and I enjoy doing this a lot, and I will continue to do that. So, hey, guys, good luck. Thanks for being involved in the first down. Hope everybody's a Super Bowl winner this year.